Well, welcome to the second quarterfinal of the FIBA Under-19 Basketball World Cup 2019. Lithuania will face Serbia in a classic of two of the biggest powers of European basketball. Serbia arrive here unbeaten in the competition, 3-0 start. Lithuania had a hiccup, lost to New Zealand in there with their 1-2 record, but put all that behind them with a convincing win over Australia in the round of 16. With me is Lloyd Gardner. We're just about to get into the team introductions, and Lloyd, anytime Lithuania and Serbia play, well, for everybody, for basketball aficionados, it's a great game, but for sheer quality and excitement, it's a great game. So this one, I don't think it's going to be any different.
No, absolutely not, Mark. I mean, we're talking about two European powerhouses. Serbia, the 2017 2018 European champions, having won their 4th title. But in that campaign, they were in the same group as Lithuania and went down to the Lithuanians 92-87. It was their only loss of the competition, so they'll be looking for a little bit of revenge here in this game. The Serbian team, which has looked very impressive indeed, but Lithuania, have got some to come to expect from their team. Some great three-point shooters, some excellent marksmen from the outside here. A very dangerous matchup indeed. So Serbian team coming out to the floor for this national anthem. Lithuania shortly.
And we're going to get into Lithuania, and they finished their dancing huddle. A Lithuanian team, previous winners of this competition in 2011 when they were crowned world champions. But as I said, a difficult group phase. They opened up pretty straightforward and beat Senegal, and then really did run into a New Zealand team that was inspired, and obviously they lost to the United States. So all to play for. We're at the quarterfinals, and both teams out on the floor, and we will then get into the national anthems of both teams, and then we'll be back further to talk about what's going to be an intriguing quarterfinal.
National anthems of teams, Serbia.
National anthem of Lithuania. So that traditional exchange of mementos at the half, both players and coaches. And as always, when these two teams and these two countries face each other, it's one for the basketball aficionados. Here's the third team on the floor, led by crew chief Johan Losso, Fernand Pascual from Philippines, and Georgios Porsandis from Greece will take charge of this second quarterfinal. Interesting fact, well, for me anyway, is when these two teams have won this championship, and they both have, they've beaten each other on the way to the gold medal. So Lloyd, this Serbian roster has been so impressive, going 3-0, in fact 4-0 given yesterday's round of 16 game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the deepest Serbian team we've seen in the past, but that Pekarski and Petrusev combo really is a handful. Petrusev, one of the handful of Gonzaga players that we see here in this tournament. There's their starting lineup, but you know, Petrusev and Pekarski, that inside duo, number 2 and number 3 in scoring, and it's a Serbian team which has dominated everybody on the inside.
Well, Coach Bukan has dealt with the pressure of being the head coach of the Serbian national team remarkably well. And if we're talking about pressure, Coach Prachauskas doesn't coach a national team, he coaches a country, because the biggest team sport in Lithuania is basketball, and there is such an expectation. And this roster's got some real talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I said I think that the key for their roster is the three-point shooting. You know, that is the way they unlock other teams. That's the way they play. They've been led by Venskus. He averages 14 points per game, and Gudaitis as well, just shy of 13 a game. So, you know, Venskus is going to have an interesting matchup against Prachauskas.
Well, the interesting thing for Lithuania, obviously, had the slip up against the New Zealand side that was inspired when they beat them. But then they really did dominate Australia.
Yeah, I think that the Lithuanians, as I say, you catch them on the wrong day, they can beat anybody. As we saw last year, they ended up 5th in that European Championships, but they were the only team to beat Serbia. So they have that ability that they can beat anybody on their day. You know, and on that particular occasion, Serbia beat them in almost every statistical category, but still came out on the losing end.
Yeah, and I think that was I was going to ask you about that game, because that really pretty much sums up where Lithuania can beat them. But the important thing is they're one of the few teams that has beaten this age group of Serbian players. Yeah,
that's exactly it. You know, and that's a big mental thing for this Lithuanian team. They have defeated this Serbian group. They know that they can compete with them, having defeated them last year in a major competition as well. So it wasn't as though it was just a warm-up game, or you know, there was nothing to play for. At that stage in the competition, everything was there, and this Lithuanian team was the ones that came out on top. The big key in that particular game, Mark, 29 Serbian turnovers. So we said, you know, they dominated almost every statistical category. We talk about how good Lithuania are shooting the 3. They went 11 for 27, which 41%. You go, wow, that's incredible. Serbia went 7 of 13, 53%. They won the rebounding battle 36 to 28. They shot better 2-point percentage, better 3-point percentage, but the 29 turnovers meant they only took 53 shots in the game, and Lithuania took 69. So just that was the difference, and it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. I think this is going to be a great one.
Well, as I said previously, both these teams have been champions at the under-19 level. In fact, if you count Serbia as being part of the old Yugoslavia, they've won this twice, or been part of winning it twice. Lithuania won it in 2011, and as we always say about this tournament, full of superstars when these players play. There's such an array of all-time greats that have been MVPs and major players in this championship. Tony Kukoc, for example, was on that Yugoslavian team that won that championship way back in '87. So it's like this is where stars are born in many cases. They're brought to the world attention. And these countries have normally had their more than fair share of absolute superstars. So welcome to the Aklion Arena. Serbia in the blue, Lithuania in the white. And we're underway, second quarter final, and Serbia will get the first look at it in the half court. A lot of pressure on Trivanovic, who's really had a great tournament scoring-wise, but Lloyd pointing out the ability to take care of the ball is going to be key for this Serbian team. It's just solid man-to-man defense. Nice move to the far side of the ring is short. Defensive rebound is pulled in, and Lithuania have a chance to run on the back of the Venskus defensive rebound.
Lithuania packing it in the inside. Knows that inside duo of Serbia are the key.
Pick and roll action at the high post. Venskus gets his own rebound, gets blocked, goes up for the third time. Has 3 or 4 ball fakes. The 3 is gone and knocked down. And so great was the rhythm. Tremendous 3 knocked down by Medlikas. And Serbia have to come down and answer. Like they will really want to go inside, but it's a physical battle in there.
That's exactly what it's going to be. Serbia known of that high-low combo. You know, Petrusev able to play inside and out, as is Pekarskas as well. So Pekarski, sorry. They work really well together. You can see Lithuania know that. Really trying to deny any entry touches to the paint.
Well, there is an inside touch. Used his body so well to create an angle. Pekarsky really did, just backed him out a little bit, got his shoulders square and finished the play. A lot of action away from the ball. Oh, nice play, beautiful execution.
We've seen Lithuanian basketball in the first 2 possessions, right? A lot of ball movement, a lot of player movement. They shoot the open pick and roll last time, then kick it for the 3. But this is the problem you're going to have. That's the second foul, I believe, already on Mitris. He's got to go out, and now this is where the depth of Lithuania is going to be questioned. You know, do they have enough personnel on the inside to slow down this duo from Serbia?
One of those games perhaps where there were going to be players that are going to have to waste themselves as such, picking up fouls and just trying to limit the damage as opposed to stopping the damage. The high-low pass was there. They didn't take it. The foul line jumper that's short, and it really is tough underneath because there's like literally a 3-on-3 battle on the glass. Lithuania in transition, pick and pop, mid-range jump shot is good. And it really is, at the minute, a clinic of Lithuanian basketball.
It looks like they're trying to really attack the bigs on the pick and roll. You know, this Serbian team is a bit of a throwback, the way they play with these two bigs together.
Off the glass for 2 is no good. Offensive rebound is pulled in, foul on the play and 1.
That's what they can do. We've just seen Mali dominate Puerto Rico in the second half. Second and third quarters, all on the back of rebounding. Serbia, the number 2 rebounding team in this competition behind Mali, showing that, you know, they also have the ability to change a game on the glass.
Ivanovic picks up his first personal.
And he's the man who's subbed in as well. So 3 fouls essentially in that same spot for Lithuania.
Pekarsky to make it a 3-point play, which he does. 5 points personal. He's drawn 2 of those early fouls, so he's been so effective. Again, the staggered screen for the pull-up 2 is good with a soft touch.
And they grabbed the ring.
They're going to wipe it off, and that's cost them 2 because it would have dropped. And Venskus, you got to love the fact he got to the glass. I mean, that's the important thing in the long term. He had the inside position, but you've got to leave the ring alone. Ivanovic will get Serbia into the half court. Back screen and the pop to extend. Lic thinks about the 3, dumps it in down low. Great guard help. Little dig at the ball by Arlauskas. And that's the other way they can deal with that. Lithuania moving the ball. Arlauskas goes up, kicks it. The 3 is open, is short. And defensive rebound belongs to Serbia. They have a chance to run, but both teams so organized in transition. Double team in the block this time. They offer the 3, they turn it down, they take the long 2 is good. Ivanovic, you can't really help off him too much.
They're just so controlled. I mean, he had the 3-point shot because of the double team. He was in no hurry whatsoever. Just took the pull up and more his shot.
Well, Lithuania turned down the 3, maybe too early in the set, but they'll take the 3 off the screen and short. Chance for Serbia to run, they have numbers. Behind the back, nice drop to the inside. Pekarsky goes up, off the glass, can't complete. Offensive rebound and another foul. Petrusev picks up or draws the foul. He just outworked his opponent, gets to the glass, and if there's a story to this first quarter, really early in this first quarter, is that Lithuania is struggling to contain them.
Yeah, on the glass, that's the key, and that's the second foul against Stepanovicius as well. So there's two guys, that 4 position for Lithuania. You're going to have to probably go out here. If he had worked as hard as Coach Petrauskis on the sideline, who demonstrated the lack of a box out after the foul was called, then I don't think Petrusev will be at the line. As we talked about repeatedly in that last game, Mark, it's really easy to tell someone, oh, you know, just box Petrusev out. It's a lot harder to do than it is to say.
You're right, it's one of those things, and the great thing for Serbia is they do have a rotation. They can go a little smaller now and again, but they should be keeping those guys fresh.
Well, that's probably the opportunity for Lithuania to perhaps go a little smaller with these foul troubles as well. Nice subs from them, though.
Vicious outside, hands it off. Alauskas puts it on the floor with the right hand, goes hard. In the lane, is fouled, and you've got to love the first step because he really did attack the space.
Yeah, and it was all created by the play. I love the execution tactically. You see the screen went from one side of the floor and wrapped around as the defense worried that it was out of position for the ball screen. It opened the strong hand drive to reject the screen, and that's what got the ball into the lane and the chance for 2 shots here for Alauskas.
Alauskas on the free throw line. Well, rattles that one.
75% he is in the tournament from the free throw line. It's,
which means he's bound to make this one, right? There you go. Stats mean everything. Here we go for Serbia again. They push it hard, trying to see if they do have the early option. Ivkovic will get it into the half court, which comes back to it. And Lithuania not really respecting the 3-point threat, but they are respecting this on the inside. Little turnaround, he's good for 2.
I don't know if they're not respecting the threat or they're just so worried about the inside threat. You know, it's probably what they're saying is, we're going to force Serbia to beat us from the outside. We can't let Pekarski get in there and continue to get these shots.
Well, there's going to be a foul on the glass because I don't think anyone boxed out, and then there was a foul on the rebound situation after the penetration. Vicious has been active since he's come off the bench. Lithuania will inbound. Nice find. Go back to the side you've come from. Is really creating opportunities.
There's the man you just said, Vicious, just done a tremendous job fighting on the inside. Now he's hitting the 3 as well.
And the help was quick, so they're going to have to move it out and start again. Full screen. Konic gets down the middle. Great acceleration for the 2. He really did turn the corner hard, and the defense on the other side of the floor just did not adjust to that penetration.
I think it's the worry about Pekarski as well. He was the man who set the screen. Everybody thinking they would look for him on the roll, left the open drive.
Defense is intense to say the least. They break it down off the glass. He's fouled. He's going to go to the line, and the difference between intense and the foul just summed up by that play because it was very intense. Every pass was contested, and then they end up with a penetration to the far side of the ring. And there's the foul on the penetration, which sends Lithuania back to the free throw line.
Well, it's been all we expected so far, hasn't it? You know,
absolutely.
2 high-powered teams, 2 really good tactical teams as well going at it here. I mean, a physical encounter on the inside as we expected. Trying to stop that Serbian duo on the inside. Lithuania have done a good job. They've shot the ball well as well.
And it's Jagabaitis on the free throw line, makes the second. Which really does tell you how tight this is. Serbia with a 1-point advantage, 4:30 to go in the first. It's a very technical game. Both teams, a lot of movement away from the basketball. Ducks in are hard. They're going to change the angle to back cut. Novic with a 2 is no good. And somehow Lithuania pull that one down. 2-on-2 on the break. They're going to go up. And nice finish. Super control. And Jurno Balkas was excellent going to the hoop.
Absolutely, you said the control, he just didn't look as though he was in any sort of rush, despite the fact he was at full speed.
Novich. Again, they're going to play him inside the three-point line, and they've got a 3-on-2. Numbers down the floor. He just pushes hard for the easy layup. And that's a nice little period there for Lithuania. Jokubaitis finishes off a 6-0 run to go from 3 down to 3 up, and timeout Serbia.
What did we say in the difference last year? Turnovers. Serbia trying to go to the inside. Lithuania continually packing it down in the paint, taking away that threat as much as they can. And if they can get those steals, it will result in easy run-outs for them. Points from turnover, the first of the game there for Lithuania.
The last play summed it up as well, isn't it? It's not just, they're smart with the way they pack it in, because they're ready to dive to the inside as opposed to standing on the inside. And that last steal was just a reaction and the quickness with enough ball pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball pressure is the key mark. Well said that you have to have the ball pressure, because otherwise teams like Serbia, they're so good at passing the ball. If you're given that time, that space, allow them to be comfortable with ball in hands, they're just going to pick you off, knowing where the rotations are going to come from.
Well, back inside the Heraklion Arena with Serbia on the wrong end of a 3-point margin. And as Lloyd pointed out, before that timeout or during that timeout, turnovers are going to be the key for this. If they don't turn Serbia over, I don't see them winning. But at the moment, that's what's given them the lead. Novich outside will move it on. And there's that high-low, and again, it's enough pressure that the pass isn't simply made, and another turnover, trying to force the pass to the inside. On the half-court, Iratis, nice part, great recovery. I was just about to call the pass, and Petrusev just appeared on the recovery.
They are, as I said, Serbia are big, and you can see Lithuania are really trying to use ball screens to get at those bigs of Serbia. It's a great tactic, see if you can pick up fouls against them, or have them working so much on the defensive end. Perhaps you can slow down that offensive firepower that they do have. Remember, Pekarski and Petrusev, number 2 and number 3 in scoring in this competition.
Well, tough shot off the glass is no good, but they'll come back, and the 3 is good. And they'll take the missed layup if it drops back into their hands. For Jokubaitis to add the 3 to the layups, he's just been finishing off on the break. He's having a great period. Penetration in the lane. Again, it's just too many hands in the lane. And if they don't start to shoot the perimeter shot, they are really, Lithuanians will just pack it in even more. They go lob on the pass, got a holding foul. Jimanovic was outsized. Great recognition, and one thing you can never get from a Lithuanian team is bad IQ.
Good awareness, as you said.
It's not as if Serbia can't shoot the ball, is it? I mean, obviously Serbia, they can't. It's not they can't shoot the ball. It's just that they're not looking to do so.
Yeah, they were 7 of 13 last year in this game, but this year in this competition, they haven't really got going from beyond the 3-point line.
Oh, the tough shot, Jokubaitis, who really is feeding it, comes up short. Serbia into the half court. Whistle on yet another whistle on the play. And they just can't cope with the size, especially in transition.
Well, it's the easiest. When you get into the half court, it enables Lithuania to be a bit more organised, to have everybody closer together, that you can help and take away the space for the inside guys. When Petrusev gets down the floor early, there's no chance to help. So it's a one-on-one matchup, and when it is one-on-one, Filip Petrusev is one of the best in world basketball at this particular age group. Within this generation, in and around the post.
Well, he makes the first from the 3-foul line, and there's a chance to cut this margin to 4. And he looks smooth on the line. One of those big guys you hate. If you're the opposing coach, you can't foul him. He'll make the throws. And Lithuania into the half court. Jokubaitis, who really has been influential as this period, this quarter has gone on. Puts it on the floor, left hand. is fouled on the penetration, and he'll go to the free throw line. It's not the speed, is it? It's just the angle of attack, the length of the first step. Just attacks the space behind the defense.
And I think the ability to pass, the creativity off the dribble as well from Jokubaitis as well is another thing, because early on in the game he drew the defense, he made a couple of little no-look passes or passes to the roll man, and now the defense is worried about that. So it's always keeping them on the toes about the option he's going to take. We've seen he can knock down that triple as well. So the triple threat of his drive, his shot and his pass means the defense can't just focus or be all in on one particular action.
Well, he misses the first free throw, which is not normal, but recovers to get Serbia to the 20 points for the first quarter, and that's
7 and 3 from Jokubaitis. So an excellent first quarter for him. He's been pulling those strings.
We're sort of away from the basketball, and we'll be shooting more free throws. And in some ways, there's always going to be this issue in this game because of the strength of Serbia going to the inside, the ability of Lithuania to create long closeouts. Fouls were always going to be a potential issue. And with 2:07 to go, I think we might be shooting a few free throws before the end of the quarter.
Being able to play without fouling, or the use of the foul, in fact, more than anything, so important in today's basketball. You know, knowing when you can commit fouls, slow down the opposition, you know, take away easy opportunities that they've got to score, but also knowing when not to foul and put teams on the line needlessly is really, really important.
Well, after saying that Petrusev is one of those big guys you hate because he makes his free throws, he goes 0 for 2.
And it's the third foul on Bonovicius.
Yep. Yeah. Just got out of position, tried to rebound first. He will step out, and we're now down to Metlikis, who checks in. So the foul issue for Lithuania is going to be a factor in the game. It was always going to be a potential issue. First of the free throws for Ilic, knocked down. So he goes 2 for 2. 3-point margin. Lithuania into the half court. Whistle again on the play, and this will be the 8th free throw in the last minute, which is, the game has become a little obviously disjointed with the number of free throws.
So Ravina trying to get over the top of the screen, you know, again, because that pick and roll has caused him so many problems. He's trying to play the defense without being picked off, but too much contact, and it's Jokubaitis back to the line again. The first quarter this guy has had.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-point margin for Lithuania. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. Substitutions coming in for Serbia. Mitchell sits, and Lithuania extend their defense. Not hard, more just to contain and take time out of the possession. And then they're back to the 3-point line. Double team comes. They pass so well out the post. They reverse it. Jovanovic goes down low. The double team again is threatened. Everyone forcing it down the one side. The tough shot at the end of the shot clock hits nothing. And the Lithuanian defense was out of the textbook. That was impressive. Jokubaitis looks at his options, gets the early screen, looks to turn the corner. Have the mismatch underneath. They're trying to create an angle for that pass. Jokubaitis wants it himself, stops, pops the foul line jumper, doesn't get the 2. It's a battle. It's been a battle for the whole quarter on the glass. Just over a minute to go in the first. But it feels like this first quarter has taken a long time and has been tight and intense the whole way through. High-low pass, they're going to look for it, they can't make it, they reverse it, the open three, Jovanovic for 3, and he drops it. They really do need to start making.
A rare 3-point make for Serbia. Jovanovic, a man who can knock them down.
Well, the defense goes under the screen, but doesn't really stop the penetration. The dart just stroked. If you go to sleep for a second, someone's going to spot up.
Excellent. It's that man Jokubaitis again for me. You know, his poise and patience to dribble all the way through without forcing a turnover. Lithuania going to go 2-3 zone, and I was trying to figure out last possession if it was a zone or if that would just look that shape because of how they were double teaming the low post, but they're zoning and then trapping any touch in that low block.
They go lob out of bounds. Trusev steps through and just not really going to call it travel.
He didn't dribble.
He had to travel, yeah. 21 seconds. Shot clock turned off. Lithuania, as good as any team in world basketball at just getting a last shot out of the absolute last second of the possession. We'll bring it in from the side. Metlikis, who just rained the three. Expect him to be keen to spot up with not a lot of time left in this first quarter, and it's the first quarter that Lithuania have just about shaded it. 25-20 they lead with this possession to go. 7 on the possession. Wide open, the same man, the same spot, the same result. Extended elbow, and Lithuania end with back-to-back threes and go to a 28-20 advantage. First quarter to Lithuania.
Incredible shooting from Lithuania. It's that man Jokubaitis again, the provider. What has he done in this first quarter? It feels like he's done everything right. 7 points, 4 assists for him. A beautiful pick and roll play, great guard play from Lithuania. But the most impressive thing for me, I know they've got 28 points, but defensively, a few of those possessions, just really, really high-level basketball for them. And the challenge for Serbia, I don't know if they can win this one, as you keep saying, without hitting the three-point shot.
Well, there are the stats, and I don't think Lithuania are going to go 71% for three, though, for the game, and that's what they've had to do to build the 8-point lead, because on the inside, they're struggling to finish plays. And 2 threes for Serbia, is that enough to keep this honest? One made it from the 2.
Yeah, and that's the difference, isn't it? I think that Lithuania may well shoot a really high percentage, because if you look at these, look, there's no challenge.
Yeah.
That's a wide open 3. So if you're taking them wide open, they can probably shoot 70% on wide open ones. Serbia have got to find a way to challenge that 3. But here is the problem for Lithuania. We've been talking this, everything's going well for them, but still, both of their 4 men already have 2 fouls in this game. And Metlikis has 9 points, but he's the man who went out early with 2 fouls. 1 more against him, and that's their top scorer on the bench.
Well, lots of if, buts, and maybes. But Lithuania, the only definite thing is they have the 8-point lead, but as you say, at what cost in terms of the duration of the game? Because fouls are already an issue. Someone on that Serbian lineup, now whether it's an emphasis from coach or whether they're so used to being able to pound it inside in this competition, someone's got to step up and knock down some perimeter shots just to keep this Lithuanian team honest. Start of quarter 2, and Lithuania with the 8-point lead get the possession first time out.
A psychological blow if they can make this a 10-point game here.
Nauskas. Oh, nice curl, easy 2. Oh, why make it so complicated? But they get the offensive board, and again they get the 3, and they are short with that.
Such a mistake from Jokubaitis, who's been just exceptional in the first quarter.
And first time down the floor, defensive foul.
The 3rd on Metlikis.
Well, Metlikis joins the long and extended list of Lithuanian 4 men picking up fouls. Get the ball inside again. Now, they're the sort of shots you think you're wide open, as opposed to they take it off the dribble and a short. And a chance here for Ramanauskas to get things moving for Lithuania. They get the early ball screen. Trikas will kick it off. They take the 3 on the ball reversal, which is off. And the ball will belong to Lithuania, and you've got to give credit just for effort, as Venska's just the only big man not really in foul trouble at the moment.
Probably hunted those 3s a little too early, those last 2 possessions, Lithuania. What gave them success the rest of the first quarter was the way they moved everybody around first. They found that lane of attack, They tried to get to the ring, and then the 3 was a result of the penetration. These ones have not really done anything to attack. They've just taken an early 3.
Yeah, it's one of those settling moments, and they just settled for 3s, not created a good one. Early screen, the staggered screen, baseline penetration. There's the pass you're talking about for three. It's good. Tlikis again. And super execution.
And that's the difference, isn't it? Get that touch, that paint touch, whether it's off an entry, you know, a post up, a penetration. But once the ball has touched the 3 second key, it can come out and you're free to fire up the three.
And then there's going to be a full foul. If that is on Tlikis, is it 4 or 3?
That's going to be, yeah, his fourth. And his fourth foul. He's 4 of 4 for 3 in 5 minutes, or 4:50, and now he's picked up his 4th foul. Wow, that's a game changer right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're sort of thinking in hindsight, maybe the matchup was wrong. Could I have taken him out early? But that doesn't matter. Easy layup for 2, out of bounds, and the weak side went to sleep. And Ilias will advance the ball. They've gone very deep into the rotation, Lithuania. Ilias, little hesitation, tried to get to the far side of the ring. Stops, needs a pass. Well, the movement was great, but his pass was just too difficult to catch.
Momentum back to Serbia, really. And not lots happened, but Serbia you just feel like now they've got suddenly a glimmer of confidence after that 4th foul.
Which will advance the basketball.
High low probably here from Serbia.
You'd have thought so.
Yes.
They go, well, there's the entry, but they don't look to dive. They're just going to look to hand off.
Here he comes.
Defense to bump, and they switch back. Goes to the far side of the ring, blows the layup, and didn't need to rush. Could have taken a little bit more time to get set. In transition, far side of the ring for 2 is good. And Lithuania doing everything they need to do as Orlauskas gives them another 2, and they're back out to a double-digit lead, and we've got another whistle on the inside. And to an extent, I'm starting to feel a little sympathy for the Lithuanians on defense, because I don't know what else they can do. They're trying to front, they're trying to bump, the referees are talking about it. It's just, I know it's a trade-off, but at the moment, they're just burning fouls.
Yeah. They have got deep into that bench, you know, it's Gaitis Spagadauskas out there now, the 27. He's a long figure. If they can get some good quality minutes from him here in this second quarter, it'll be a real help. He's only averaging 2 points per game.
Nice little weak side, strong side cut down the middle, and again, the help side gets beaten on a front cut and back to single digits. Serbia don't need to panic, just looking for good options, keep the ball moving. But at the moment, Lithuania, because of the way Serbia is playing the defense, are pretty much moving the ball and getting what they want. The mid-range 2 is short, and that's the type of shot that Bradauskas can make, and in this situation needs to. Sloppy pass to the inside is recovered. Defensive rebound is just about gathered in as a team, and that's just a lot of effort from everybody to get there for Lithuania. Ilias, pick and pop, and they'll move it on and pick. Well, it's a great defensive play. Beautiful block, and they've really turned down a great opportunity to score with a poor pass. And the 3 is long from Shiravina. Great work, Prishet. And he gets fouled on the second way up. No, they're going to call it a travel on Petrusev. For all his good work as such, he's not quite finishing things off for Serbia.
No, it was forced possession, really. It wasn't the space. You see 2 guys from Lithuania, they don't even have to do anything. They're both standing still. There was some good hands on the first one, but here for the second one, you know, they can't move out of the way for him.
Nope.
So that's perhaps the time he should have gone, yep, okay, I've got the offensive rebound, throw it out, recycle it, have another go in a second when I've got a bit more space.
Almost turned over against the Serbian pressure.
It's a bit of a battle. You know, we said 29 in that first game. 6 turnovers for Serbia, just 1 for Lithuania in this game.
Into the half court. Back cut was never ever there. They made the decision to do it. Bonovic gives it up, and well, it's maybe a little unfortunate for Yarambauskas, but as incidental as it may have been, there was a trip. It has to be called, because as he runs underneath him, he just catches his leg, and in many ways could have been dangerous. But the net effect is Serbia are back to the free throw line. This game could take a while.
Yeah, a lot of free throws here. A lot of red lights up on that scoreboard here in the arena as well. Fouls for both teams.
You could be having a light show with the number of red signs on that board. Too many of them on the side of Lithuania, which is really going to be an issue. But they do have an 8-point advantage to try and manage that issue with. Second of the free throws. The trap comes, the full court pressure. Lithuania, not surprisingly, pass it out of that pressure. Alauskas has it, gets it back into the hands of Gabaitis, who is having possibly the game of his life at the moment. Skip it. They have to step back for the three, and it's short, and that's exactly the type of three that you were talking about in terms of they didn't really generate any advantage to get that three. It was a tough one.
Yeah, shot clock was low, so you perhaps give them a little bit of allowance. Another travel again.
It has to be a travel.
They're just trying to find space where it's not there. They're giving up the three, Lithuania. They're daring Serbia to shoot it from the outside. But on that occasion, it is Saravina. He just doesn't want to shoot it. He's trying to get in and spin when there's too many bodies around him.
Well, there's the confirmation of that. 7-2 in turnovers. They skip it to the weak side. The open three is off. And a bit of a scoring drought both ways at the moment.
6-5 in this quarter.
Saravina with the basketball, they offer it to him. He takes it and drills it.
He's going to have to make that shot. You see the way they're guarding. Alauskas just has nothing to do with the ball whatsoever. He's literally just sitting on front of that, on the top of that low post player. There you see him daring. He's got feet inside the lane at some stages. So Saravina eventually does knock it down. That's a big shot for Serbia.
So Lithuania take their first time out of this first half. And it's one of those situations, Lloyd, where you've got this Lithuanian team. Things can't be going that, apart from the foul count, things really can't go that much better for them. But you can't give them that much time. You could make that, give them three as opposed to the inside, but you can't give him all day and all night to let it go like they did then. They just stood and looked at him.
Yes and no. I mean, you look at the stats and you say, well, he hasn't shot it. So you dare him to shoot it, thinking that you're playing with the psychology. Little Saravina, makes his first three. It's just the second three made from Serbia. This is a Serbian team that only makes 4 threes a game coming in. So they're already halfway through, making 2 of 5. They are not active on looking to shoot it, and you're literally playing the percentages of saying, I do not believe you can make enough of those threes, or you're going to try enough against what the guys would be doing on the inside if you pass to them.
Well, the foul count in this second quarter, as you can see there, 4-0, or more than 4-0, or 4-0 at the moment. And again, Lithuania do a nice job passing through the pressure, creating an advantage down there, and they just turn it over when they did have the option to go inside. They did have the option to look for the dump down. They just couldn't complete the play, and there's going to be another whistle called offensive this time.
And that's a big one because Petrusev had the mismatch at the ring as well against Yaron Balauskas. So mismatch, and he is called for the offensive foul rather than the certain two if he had caught the ball.
There's got to be, it's very difficult to call it just one way with so much contact going on. Again, they get a 2-on-1 on the end of the break. This time they take it up and blow another layup. And that's 2 possessions in succession that gets to the back of that 2-2-1 trap, and they just can't complete a play. Never a pass to the inside. Now they're going them running the floor again. Lithuania need to get this scoreboard ticking over because at the moment it's a drought. Move to the middle on the inside, and again they blow a shot at the ring. And wow, Venskus, who gets all the way to the glass, just can't complete the play. Orange outside, they look high-low, and it was there, but they weren't looking at it when they went. And in fact, they're getting in each other's way on that play. Turnover against Serbia. Whistle on the play as Gelatis pushed in transition.
Venskus, the leading scorer for Lithuania, coming in by average to this game. He's been kept pretty quiet, 4 points, but it was an excellent opportunity for him last time. As soon as the switch happened, they went to him on the low block thinking it was going to be an easy score. He got such a good shot, but as you said, opportunities going missed here for Lithuania. And as Serbia have just started to chip away at this lead, they're the plays they need to make.
Gelatis swung the baseline and had to check and come back. Great recognition, but they've blown another 2 for. That's the third shot in succession. The decision to go was good, and they just can't finish the play. Here's Shirovina, who goes inside. Tough one off the glass for 2, and there's one thing for sure. Pekareski can finish around the ring. Tough play, used his body so well. Transition pick and roll. Got to find the open man. There's that tendency to go looking for stuff again as opposed to letting it come. Penetration on the rip through. Open for 3 is good. Alauskas again is the man who comes to tick it over.
Alauskas missed those opportunities off the dribble, but made up for it with a big 3. It's a good defensive possession from Serbia. They rotated well. But, at the end of it, they did have a mismatch, and Lithuania took advantage from that. The interesting thing, I think that Serbia have just started to figure out a bit more now, is that because they're not being guarded on the 3-point line, it does mean there's no pressure on the ball for them entering the ball. So they can take their time, they're not in a rush, they can make good entry passes knowing that there's no pressure against them.
Harris looks inside, looks high-low again, not there, they have to go back. Lovic gets the ball to the corner. Tough 2 under a lot of pressure. Lithuania off to the races. 2-on-1 break. Off the glass and 1. And you can't say enough good things about Jakubaitis. I know he had a little dip early in this quarter, but how good has he been in every aspect of the game?
Well, this is a man who's been in the roster for the Žalgiris EuroLeague team last season, so, plays up with the senior team, one of the best in Europe, Žalgiris, and you can see why. You can see the maturity he has in all aspects of his game. What have we seen from him so far? We talked about the triple threat of him off that pick and roll, the drive, the pass, the shot. Now in transition, he's done a really good job defensively as well.
Completes the 3-point play. Back out to an 8-point lead, and Lithuania re-establishing that. And I agree with you 100%, Lloyd, that Serbia looked like they were starting to not just chip away at this, but get things they wanted. They get the shot early in transition as Pananovic goes up with an uncontested little runner, and they just ran it straight back at Lithuania. Batis with a 2, doesn't get it, and it rattled in and out. In transition, Ikovic moves it. Again, looking down low, the baseline side is open, and they turn it down. They will go pick and roll. Panovic moves it on. They go back inside to the other half of the inside combo. It's Petrusev who's fouled on the catch and will go to the free throw line.
It's old school basketball, isn't it, really, from Serbia? So many teams, you see the shot, how close does that get before bouncing out? But, a lot of teams now don't play these 2 traditional bigs together, play one more perimeter-based player. But Petrusev and Pekarski, what they are able to do is defensively guard the perimeter pretty effectively for guys of their size. So that's why they can afford to play both of them together, even against more athletic and better, more perimeter-based bigs.
Well, Petrusev makes the first, as we said earlier on. Solid from the free throw line, 5 from 7 on tonight's game. All his points so far from the line. Make that 6 from 8. Still no field goal, but he's getting those free throws because he's just such a presence on the inside. Ilias gets it over the half. Floor is so spread with Lithuania. Another whistle. And you get drawn into the technicality of what's going on. You get drawn into the movement of players away from the ball. But you forget about the physical intensity out there as well. Move to the inside, outside. That's going to be a travel. Not totally convinced, but they're calling that will be the change of the pivot foot. 4-point game in Serbia, 1:52 to go. We're going to go into the half, and this one's going to be, well, I would expect it to be at least this tight, if not even closer as Serbia. And the early three, because there's no defense at all in the same area of the park, the field, the gym. Panovic thinks about it. We'll be able to go inside with a simple pass. Move to the far side of the ring, a slip. The ball goes off the foot, and Lithuania will take possession of the ball. And Petrusev had made his mind up he was going to go there.
Yeah, and that's one time, look, he's trying to go, but there's a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
Pekarski couldn't quite circle underneath quick enough to get out of his way. You know, usually those two work really well moving for each other to give each other the space, but I'm not sure it was really there on that occasion for Petrusev.
Well, Lithuania trying to retain the advantage going into the half. Lauskas, tough runner off the glass, high off the glass is no good. Panovic needs a pass, finally gets one. Mikovic will move it on, and they're ducking in again. It's all a bit four out, stand there, try and post it in, but when it's working, why do you want to change it? But great rebound. Tremendous work on the glass by Pekarski, and if you're going to get the one shot, you've got to box out. Back to a 2-point game.
Good work from Pekarski, because he's so often the provider for Petrusev on that high-low pass. Didn't watch it though, anticipated the miss and went and got the offensive rebound.
Tough pass. The three is gone, he's short. And Lithuania got no movement that time at all. Panovic a chance to tie or lead on this possession. And when it was a double-digit lead, Serbia would have definitely taken that. They're going to have to get them from the free throw line low with 27 seconds remaining. And it is, as you say, very across the last however many years, throw it high, duck in, see if you can get it in there. But at the moment, they're getting it in there whenever they want.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be the key. The challenge for Lithuania is, yeah, if you start to pressure the ball some more to try and stop the pass coming, then do you just open up the one-on-one even more? You know, if you do pressure against guys like Pekarski out on the outside, is he able to just move it on to somebody else real quick, and then it's one-on-one for Petrusev rather than the one-on-two when he does get it. So pick your poison, really. Such a tough ask.
Yeah, absolutely a tough ask. Timeout for Lithuania, who are going to get the ball, well, as long as they rebound the missed shot, are going to get the ball back with 27.4 seconds to go after these free throws. They'll obviously try and use as much of the shot clock as they possibly can, but it's a tough. They had a look at the zone for a bit, Lithuania, with that matchup zone, and that almost looked as effective as they've been in terms of trying to stop the ball inside. Is that going to be a case of Coach Petrusev saying, well, I know how it's going to work, I'll keep it, I'll save it?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a couple of things. There's always the halftime break for adjustments.
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe he uses that zone more in the second half, just kind of look at it, see how they adjusted, but in the same way they've adjusted against, you know, not being guarded at the point of the ball, this Serbian team learns so quickly. So if you go to it too early, have they figured it out by the end of the game? Are you better to hold it back, use it a bit more in the second half, and hope they never quite figure out how to unlock it before the game gets away from them? I think the other thing as well is, you know, maybe they do vary up and press the ball a lot more to try and stop it coming in. They have probably that in their ability, Lithuania, but maybe that's another thing. They're just waiting and seeing, because until this last couple of minutes, you know, defensively they've been pretty good, really.
Yeah. Chance to tie the game from the free throw line. First one is good. And Marko Pekarski on the free throw line. Both, or everybody on this Serbian team is good from the free throw line. And 2 for 2, ties it at 39, a new game. And Pekarski's got no risk of any foul. He's going to sit. He's replaced by Ilic.
Bringing in a better defender, really, a bit more mobile.
Lithuania having not many issues beating this press with the pass. There's around a 3-4 second differential between the game and the shot clock. Serbia still have a foul to give. That's the other option they have here. He stops and takes a tough one from the foul line. Offensive rebound with 5 on the shot. Do they realize on the possession, gonna have to put it up? They get it away. Never looked like it was going in. Well, 20 minutes ago we started at 0-0. We've reached the half at 39 apiece. We've got a new ball game for the second half. And after leading by double digits, Lithuania have been dragged back. And we are at 39 apiece at the half. Lithuania and Serbia knotted. We'll go to the locker room and talk this one over. Great half of basketball.
Absolutely, Mark. Really high level, both teams, you know, tactically, both ends of the floor, really. Both asking the questions of the other team. They know exactly what they have to do to try and slow them down. The question is, can they do it? So the percentages, it sums it up. Lithuania, 26% struggling on the inside. We're shooting the 3 really well. Serbia almost the other way around. Shooting the 2 really well, struggling from 3.
Well, both teams hitting the glass hard. Both teams sharing the ball well. As you said, very, very technical. 11 turnovers for Serbia. The Achilles heel that you mentioned right before the game is still turning out to be their Achilles heel. Foul count for Lithuania is a worry. 13 fouls in that first half. So we're going to leave you with highlights of what was technically very high. Execution, tremendous intensity and physicality, all for everyone to see. We're tied at the half. 39 apiece. We'll see you in around 10 minutes for the second half. Well, welcome back to Heraklion in Crete. Beautiful island, beautiful weather, beautiful place. And we've got a hell of a basketball game going on. We're at half time and it's 39 apiece, Lithuania and Serbia. Well, as I mentioned before the game, when these two teams have played before, whoever's won has won to go on and win the gold. These two potential gold medalists?
Well, the Serbian team took USA, arguably the favourites right now, to a close game in preparation here in Heraklion before the tournament started. But, and you can see why, you know, with those weapons that they do have, especially on the inside, but this is an ask for them to get through Serbia, let alone anything else. I think right now both these two teams aren't thinking about winning the medal, aren't thinking about winning the competition. They're worrying about this game because this, as we expected, is a tight one. Two teams that faced off last year, Serbia suffering their only defeat of the European Championships against Lithuania, and you can see Lithuania seem to know how to play to beat Serbia.
Have Serbia weathered the storm though? Because they had that first part of the game where they just shot the lights out. Lithuania, they went a little cold and they missed some very, very makeable shots in transition or shots at the ring. Have they perhaps let Serbia off the hook?
That's the question, isn't it? What more have Lithuania got? Do they have a plan B? Do they have a way of mixing it up? I think that's the key thing as well. Because if they continue to play the same way, I don't know if they can come back. You know, Petrikas is out with those 4 fouls. He's probably not going to be able to start this second half unless they're just going to burn him early. See if they can get some more three-point shots from him, and he's still the leading scorer for Lithuania. You know, when he went out, that changed the game. And now you see Pekarski, 15 points, really starting to come alive. Petrisev only has 6, but all from the free throw line as he's just drawn foul after foul, and you really started to think that they had worked out how to play against that really passive defense from Lithuania on the perimeter. So,
welcome back. At the start of the third quarter, Serbia will have control of the basketball, and Jivanovic will get them into the half court. Straight back, looking to go high-low in the traffic and then draw a foul. And it's a little deja vu moment that it's like the first play of the game, pound it inside, get the foul, go, and it's just whatever they said in that Lithuanian locker room, no change.
No change whatsoever, was it? Just designed play, straight to that high-low action.
And normal service on the free throw line too. First one as Galeski just continues to accumulate points. 2 from 2 from the line. Exactly the start. They get the foul, they get the 2. Couldn't be a better start for Serbia. The man of the half, Jakubaitis for Lithuania, gets them into the half court. Quick pick and pop. Going to go to work on the inside, they'll hand it off. Baseline penetration, need a pass, turnover. Serbia did a great job staying in the lanes. And Jivanovic gets it into the half court. Again, they're taking that defense to an extreme of standing inside the three-point line, offering the shot, taking away the pass. Jivanovic, that's a dangerous tactic with him because he can do this, steps up and misses the mid-range 2. An offensive rebound by the inside. Jivanovic to the middle, needs a pass, finds one. Jivanovic wide open for 3 is long, and that'll be chased down. Jakubaitis will bring it. Big Euro step, and that's a beautiful finish. Just extended straight above the ring.
Yeah, well, the finish in the end was easy because of the great footwork. You know, the way he moved his body, sold the defender, got him just an easy one at the end. Again, this Lithuanian defense doesn't seem to be any changes. They are going to live or die by Serbia making these three-point shots.
And they had that period where they really did force it inside, and the guards more than anybody else tried to go after them. That's great ball protection as he squared to the middle. And Petrusev gets himself going.
It's his first field goal, Petrusev. He'd only taken 3 shots before then. He's now got 8 points, 9 rebounds.
High-low for Lithuania, and I suppose that's, you mentioned, that's the other way they can try and nullify this, try and get some foul trouble going the other way.
Yeah, but the key, I mean, that's on Ilic, which is, a key contributor for Serbia, but That's his second. Pekarski only has one. Petrusev only has one as well. So those three can rotate those two spots quite easily, and as we can see, they can all play together as well. So no worries yet.
Inbound to the long side of the floor. Little pick and pop for the mid-range two is good, and everything in rhythm, and that normally means you make the shot. And there's no change there as Venska starts to, he's the other player that was missing in terms of points in that first period for Lithuania.
Yeah, there's another foul. Brunovicius just picks up his fourth now. Yeah, the pick and pop action works really well for Lithuania in the early stages. You know, they tried to get it out of transition, and when they had that good start to the game, that's what they were using. A lot of that action to attack the bigs, and if they came to the ball, they would free up the man for a jump shot as Petruskis picks up the foul.
Yeah.
Sorry, Petrusev. But it's maybe something to look at again. Open side ball screens for Lithuania.
Substitutions as Petrusev, after picking up the foul, will step. That means Ilic will go to the 4, which he can do.
Yeah, I think it's almost a more natural spot for him.
So it was Lithuania into the half court. Chekabaitis has a look at the inside option. They're going to come off the stagger, line it up the 3, put it on the floor. Contact, drew it really, really well. They're going to count it. Wow. Gradis with the really nice hesitation, but have to see it again. Well, there's the contact, and then he picked the ball up. That's a bit marginal, right? Or are you with the referee?
Marginal, absolutely. I would go with the ref. It's all about consistency, isn't it?
That's true.
If you have the same thing at the other end, you don't have a complaint. So
probably, you know, he'd stop the dribble, let's put it that way, but misses the free throw. And like we say in every one of these situations, Serbia would be the favorite coming into this. If you're going to play a particular way, you've got to take advantage of everything you can, the free throw being a case. And they're just not going to take that in the night three-pointer, are they? They go inside, not going to throw it out and shoot the ball. Banovic going baseline, needs a pass, somehow finds one. Then they'll attack the closeout. Stop in the lane, tough little floater is no good. And the ball will belong to Lithuania, and it was a tough ask on the little floater for Mikovic. He just looked like he thought he was going to shoot it, demanded he shot it himself almost, even though there was other options on the floor.
And just looking at that foul count is really changing as well already, and the 3 fouls against Serbia has really changed this game because they've all been against key guys.
Gavadis takes the ball screen, down the middle roll, turned over, it's going to stay here. In fact, I thought the reaction from Arlauskas seemed to indicate he didn't think it had touched anybody. 6 seconds on the possession, Lithuania. And they've set their stall out. This is how they're going to play the game, and they're just going to try and execute that and get the result they want. They go upstairs with a little lob, the simple back screen, throw it to the weak side, and they get the easy 2, and they won't come any easier than that.
That's a favourite play of Gedimitas Petrauskas. Saw that a lot at the Under-20 European Championships last year. And that same play to great success there. Different group of players, but same result.
And Serbia comes straight back at, no set, aggressively attack the basket and get the reward. It's exactly as we said this would be. Such a tight game. Again, the pip with a short roll as opposed to a pop on that one, but it's really being productive.
I think they just need to keep running that action. You know, Venskus is so good in that short jump shot, and when you get the ball into the hands of Jokubaitis as well, you know he's going to make the right decision.
They're looking on the change in the angle, high-low. Now they go the opposite low block. Double team felt. Open 3. It's off. But now Panovic gets the offensive rebound. He works so hard on every possession. Comes up with a positive stat. And Serbia will retain possession. That'll be the 3rd team foul for Lithuania. It is like the cliche chess match, isn't it, at the moment, in terms of both teams trying to prize an advantage out of what, you know, how they want to play this game. End line. No lob. Petrusev just about recovers. Wants it on a reposition. Feels the double team. Has to go weak side. The closeout's good enough. And turnover, recover. No, they've got it, Lithuania. And numbers down the floor here. I don't think they're balanced enough to go that early, but they get the pick and roll early in the set.
Now they've switched it rather than give up that short jump shot. This is where, you know, Venskus has got to score one-on-one.
Leans away, draws the contacts, and after doing everything he possibly could, Ivanovic challenges the shot, but just fouls the jump shot.
I mean, you talk about the chess match, that's it there. So previously, Serbia, they hadn't switched the ball screen and they had been beat with Venskus just rolling sort of mid-range, that little jump shot. This time they switch it and they say, all right, well, we're not going to give you that jump shot. We're going to make you beat us one-on-one. So he has to continue to do that, or, you know, that's the way Serbia will just sit and play until you prove you can beat it.
It was a soft foul. It was obviously a soft foul, obviously a foul, but just the knock on the elbow in the act of shooting. Fouling a jump shooter, one of those cardinal sins, and now Lithuania are going to get the bonus of the offensive rebound to the glass for two, and they come away with a 3-point return on that trip down the floor, and they've opened it out to a 7-point lead, but it has a different feel to the first half. 7 points, yeah, they were making 3-pointers. This time they're grinding it out a little more. Ivanovic.
I think that's a great word to describe it, grinding. It's exactly what they're doing. They're fighting all over the floor. Here comes the double again.
And we've got a whistle on the plate. They're going to wipe it off. Offensive on the boards. She's going to be charged with the personal. And again, on that particular, again, Petrusev decided he was going to shoot it regardless of the option that he had.
Yeah, well, he was trying to get a shot, but he knew the double team was coming and where it was coming from. So he tried to spin away, but the defense again from Lithuania just, you know, really, really impressive. They guarded it so well. They didn't let him turn back to the baseline away from the double team and get a good shot. He was fading on the jump hook, and Petrusev's gone out now because of the, like you said, you know, just the way the decision offensively, I think. Have him think about it for a moment. And right now, Lithuania once more look like the team to beat.
Well, opening out the lead. Chance to make it a 9-point lead. They blow that. Only 1 from 2 from the line again. But they lead by 8 with 5 to go. Serbia in the penalty. Lithuania still have 1 foul to give. Ivanovic hands it. Ivanovic comes off the screen on a reposition in the lane. Throws up. Can only be described as a prayer. But again, the people who are more active come up with the play.
Yeah, good work from Ilic. I think the fact it was an air ball helped him. If the ball had hit the ring, Lithuania might have been in possession, you know, in good position, sorry, to get the rebound. But an air ball kind of caught them off guard. Ilic was the first one aware of it. Just 2 points for Ilic.
And that one stroked. Drops the first of the free throws.
10 points, 10 rebounds a game for him. Number 4 he is. There's only 4 players that average double-digit rebounds in this tournament, and he's one of them.
And an offensive rebound. Great work on the body, tremendous work on the glass, and one, and it's a real bonus time for Serbia. They get the first of the free throws, the 2 points on the putback, and they've got a chance to go 4 points on this trip down the floor. First move did such a good job using his body in traffic, just couldn't connect the play. But then look, the body's on the floor, just going to work.
I don't understand how it's an and one. The foul was not. Yeah. I'm confused about this. They're giving Pekarski the shot, but he didn't score.
But they're in the penalty before, because the foul before that sent him to the line, put them over the limit. So there's the loose ball foul count and send them to the line.
So they're giving him 2 shots. That makes sense. Sorry. I thought they were giving, you know, it was an and one. I was like, but the foul wasn't against the guy who scored. So
this is a bonus down the floor for Serbia. From being 8 down, this will make them. This literally gets them to 3 down on 1 trip down the floor. Sorry, take that. Makes them 2 down with another offensive putback. And in the space of no time at all, they have closed this to a 2-point game. And just when we were talking about Lithuania sort of establishing and grinding out the advantage, in a hurry, Serbia turn it around. But Lithuania straight back with the answer for 2. And Guduraitis just sliced through the defense, turned the corner so quickly, lays it up.
Both teams high scoring. We've seen that today, but I haven't been overly impressed with the Serbian defense when it's needed to be on point, you know. It hasn't really found a way to get any momentum against Lithuania.
Bauskas coast to coast for 2. gets his own rebound, drives down the floor.
It's plays like that. You watch how easy it is for him in transition just to get to the front of the ring. Look, just a straight drive. You know, no one comes across. Yeah, he's challenged at the basket. Yeah, of course. But you know, you have to, with multiple players back, you have to make a better attempt at that, making it tough.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. No way that should happen. So Serbia take the timeout. And if you coach, you've just seen your team on one trip come all the way down to 2, and they've given up 2 layups for it to become a 6-point game again. And that isn't Serbian basketball by any description.
They have to understand they're not going to win this game on the offensive end. Yeah, that's important, but it's the defensive end where they've got to be able to get some stops. In my mind, I think that they'll find their groove offensively enough to win this game if they can stop this Lithuanian team.
So we're back live inside the Heraklion Arena. Serbia, after closing to 2 on just a phenomenal 2 phases of play, back down 6 after Lithuania have just laid it up on them twice. Lithuania out with what looks like a 1-2-1-1. It looks a little 1-2-2-ish now. They're threatening to trap, but it's almost they've just slowed them down and then just fall back into half-court D, which again looks very zone-like. They're going to match up in the zone. And this has confused Serbia. They settle for the 3, which is long and not in rhythm, and then it's just go rebound that. Tremendous work on the glass as Lic comes down with it. Quick duck to the inside for the 2, and Piskarski can't get it, gets another attempt, can't get that to drop. And Serbia outnumbered again on the break. Lithuania going up, bar blocked. Well, you asked for a bit of challenge, you got it.
Yeah, much better on that possession. I also said about Ilic on the glass, and all of a sudden he has come to life, getting second and third shot opportunities for Serbia.
Substitution coming in for Serbia. And Piskarski will sit. Petrusev checks in. 3:20 to go in the third. We're going to still have the 6-point lead. Generadis wants a bit of space. 7 on the possession. Stops. Fires the mid-range 2. And that one just rings in and out. That's possibly the most un-Lithuanian shot we've seen today. Of almost just clearing out and not doing anything away from the ball. Offensive execution by Serbia. Now it's just got to be a bit sharper. The ball movement a little sharper. They want to go inside, and then they're just standing still. And this change-up defensively by Lithuania is impressive.
Well, we said first half, are they going to wait, not use it, so Serbia can't figure it out? And it looks like that's exactly what they've done. And the moment the ball was going in, Lithuania is so well prepared for their rotations.
So into the half court.
Serbia changing defense now, 1-3-1.
And they're offering the 3, which is long. Just owned on the glass. Tremendous work by Lic on the glass. And you said it come to play. It's becoming a real factor as this game develops. Lines it up, goes underneath, and it was just a little bit. The defense was established. The lob might have been on.
Yeah. It's interesting if Serbia are going to try a 1-3-1 zone Lithuania with their shooters.
You'd expect them then looking in the corners, trying to overload it. It wasn't in my script that said Serbia would go to the zone. It's almost an acceptance if they're struggling to play with enough quickness and intensity. Lic has been very quiet offensively. Lic moves it on Jones. His bread and butter, gets fouled on the 2-point shot. And another one of those moments that you hate if you're a coach.
It's a poor foul. A rare defensive mistake from Lithuania. They've been pretty good, apart from some of these fouls that they've been giving up.
So Trivanovic on the free throw line.
2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mitrikis comes back in with 4 fouls.
Interesting timing, as you say.
I mean, if they do stay in that 1-3-1 zone, he is going to be an X factor. He's 4 of 4 in the first half from 3, but he's sat for a long time, and he's got to make sure, especially he's going to guard Ilic, I would guess. I know they'll be in the zone, but he doesn't want to pick up his 5th here so cheaply. He's in the zone still.
Again, the zone, as you say. Kick it to the open shooter. Well, how long, he doesn't care how long he's been in and out of the game. He's now 5 from 5 from the floor.
In the same spot as well, every time.
But also,
teammates know where he is. The moment he's open, they're finding him. He's got to make sure he doesn't commit a cheap one down this end.
Just stay clean. If you're a Lithuanian fan, you're begging him to stay clean right now. He's got Ilic to guard, and Ilic hasn't had a touch of the ball yet, which is a little surprising. Tough shots. Petrusev, he's had a lot of easier options than that he hasn't come close to knocking down. 5-point game, and it's, for a basketball fan, this is a game to savor. Gabaidis, just on the inside. That's a tough pass, really big to hold. Chance the other way for Serbia, but defensive transition is good for Lithuania. Deep catch, surrounded, but goes up and gets the drop. How did he find space?
That's why Petrusev is so good, isn't it? Back-to-back scores. There's such a crucial time for Serbia.
Gabaidis, extra pass to the corner was open. They turned it down. They found the man again. He passes it up, and they got the foul on the play. Lithuania will shoot from the line again.
Not going to get him out. Yeah, 41 seconds. Leave him in there. Serbia's going to come back with their big lineup.
They're going to go very big, yep. Gabaidis on the free throw line.
Comes out, Mitrikis.
That's got to be the call, right?
Yeah, smart move. Might lose him for one offensive possession, but I think that's worth the risk right now.
Well, Lithuania down under 60% from the free throw line. It's an area of the game where most Lithuanian teams excel. They're all good shooters. At 57%, they still lead the game by 3. Make that through at 4. As it bounces around, thinks about it, and drops. It doesn't get the drop on the second. And Lithuania just hanging out here with a 4-point lead, just trying to stop this little run that Serbia are putting together. Petrusev with the high screen. They move it on. Petrusev needs a touch, wants a touch. And then they extend and just knock down the 3. Well, you can't step off them, though. That's the thing. Petrusev knocks down the 3, and we're at a 1-point game.
If your guards aren't going to hit threes, the big guy's going to step out and make them.
And the 1-3-1 zone still exists, still stays there. They go to the corner. Drops inside. That's a great defensive play as well. Petrusev gets a piece, and that will do it. Well, it's happened again. It's a deja vu moment. As we see the replay of the 3 that brought it to a 1-point game. Lithuania in the first half led by as many as 11, 12 points. And they were tied up at the half. They led that by 9 at one point, and now we've got a 1-point game. Serbia should try and come back before they go behind.
It's a great idea, Mark. I mean, every time you feel like, oh, Lithuania, you know, they've played well, they've got the momentum, surely this is their game. Serbia then have an answer. But having said that, the answer has never really been to take the lead, though. You know, they haven't really ever taken that big jump. They tied it they went up 41-43 right at the start of that third quarter. But apart from that, you know, they've only led for 3 minutes in this game, and Lithuania have led for 23, nearly 24 minutes. So Yeah, for Serbia, they're never out of it. They're always coming back, but the question is, can they take that next step?
Well, some of the work by Petrusev, if you're a big guy watching him play, it's, you know, we've seen big guys in this tournament, great athletes, get off the floor, they're looking to throw it down. Petrusev, with his footwork, is just, it's like watching a clinic. He's just got footwork to die for, the way he creates angles and space. He's not throwing it down on anybody.
I mean, this is why he's so highly regarded, Petrusev. He played freshman year last year at Gonzaga University. He's on a host of Gonzaga players playing in this tournament. We just watched Omar Ballo dominate the last game on the inside. Now we see Petrusev, another of the inside players for Gonzaga, you know, dominating this game. 6.5 points a game he averaged for Gonzaga last year. Probably played a little more than people expected in his first year, in a very, very deep front line for Gonzaga. So, you know, the other thing we haven't really seen for him is he's a guy who stepped out and he shot 30% for three over the course of Gonzaga's season last year. So will he have the ability to step out?
Start of the fourth quarter, Lithuania with the 1 point advantage. A place in the semi-finals of the FIBA Under-19 World Cup at stake. Almost a turnover. Really great job by Guduraitis to hang on. Wide open for three is good. And Vilis comes off the bench at the start of the fourth and just drains one. And they always seem to have that type of answer. Serbia needs stops so they can lead, not stops to come back. Here's Trifonic. There's a lot of people inside the keyway, both in blue and white uniforms. Petrusev feels the double team and goes out of bounds. You gotta love the double team, but more importantly, you have to love the help. There was no obvious pass.
Yeah, and that's the problem for Serbia. Petrusev turned away from the double team to the baseline and everybody had run in the opposite direction. He had no pass out to that opposite corner, which is something you've got to have.
Govic will sit as Trivonic sits as well. So, Lithuania, in the guise of Domantas Vilis, gets him into the half court, moves it on. Guduraitis gets it back to you. Back-to-backs!
I was just thinking he hesitated too long. He's just made one. He kind of fumbled it in his hands. But doesn't matter. Villiers, 6 points. I mean, they've had some X-factor shooting, haven't they, Lithuania? We talked about it coming into the game.
Well, Ilic for three is no good, and it was really wound up.
I think every possession has been won by Lithuania so far. You know, that shot won by Lithuania, and Vilis, why not?
He's short on that one. I think the same thing, I'd say the same thing you did, Lloyd. He just hesitated on that one. Get it and let it go if you've just gone for two. Looking high-low. There isn't the pass high-low because they're just sucking into the middle. Everybody feels the middle. White defense is everywhere underneath. Far side of the ring, challenged. And Lithuania as a team secure the rebound. And they're in a good place at the moment. Romanskas has it, gets it back to this who started this quarter on fire. Very small guard line in for Lithuania.
Got them out of the zone, haven't they? They've put them back into man-to-man with the way they shot the ball.
To the corner. Is it 3 out of 4? No, it's not. Great work on the glass, and the putback is bouncing around on the ring, and there's the foul, and the hopefully not caught, and it is caught on the wrong guy. If you're Lithuanian, that is. Petlikis, I think, in a crazy loose belt foul situation, will foul out. How big is that? And he tried, he knew he shouldn't have done it. And he pleaded his ignorance, his innocence, not ignorance, his innocence, as well as.
Yeah.
But why was he involved? Why, oh why did he get involved?
It goes back to him missing the shot at the ring.
Yeah.
That's what we saw from Lithuania. It was the same sort of lineup as well for them. Opportunities missed in that, what was it, the second quarter? And again, a missed shot. If they had made that, he'd still be out there on the floor. They'd have a 9-point lead. And you keep thinking, are these opportunities going to come back and hurt them? Are Serbia going to, find a way to late on take this game?
Well, Guduraitis checks out. Serbia. Which has been quiet. They line it up for three, and it's no good. That's a rebound. Great putback. No one put a body on him. And again, Petrushev shows you his value. Tremendous effort on the glass. 30. Patus, 5-point lead now. Vilis needs a pass, somehow manufactures a pass. 7 on the possession. Stop, the tough 2 is off, and it was never a good set by Lithuania. Rovina advances, whistle on the play.
Baskis has just fouled out as well. That's why he was frustrated, walked to the bench.
Off the ball foul for him to foul out. So that's the first, perhaps of many, that foul out tonight. Long time to go in the game, 7-0-8, 5 points advantage. With a big step through, off balance, doesn't get the roll, great box out.
First time I think we've seen Alauskas at the 4 spot, so he's going to have to guard Pekarskis. It's a tough matchup for him. He did a good defensive possession there.
Nice move to the hoop, Lent with the left hand. Tremendous finish by Jacobaitis again. He's done some, after that really hot first quarter, he's got a little bit quiet points-wise. He's back on a roll right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quality player. Marcus Jacobaitis just signed a new 3-year deal with Žalgiris. He averaged 2.5 points in the European League's action last year, 4.5 points, over in double-figure minutes in the Lithuanian League as well. So he's starting to break through to high-level teams, and you can see why really today, can't you? As you said, he's been a bit quiet lately, but 15 points from him.
And that was great. Used his body, great angles, and kisses off the glass, stats-wise.
6 assists as well, actually, just quietly on about his work. And more impressively, 0 turnovers as well, Mark.
Well, that's a performance at this level. 15 rebound advantage for Serbia, over 18 offensive rebounds. I mean, they are just keeping themselves in it by rebounding, really, because nothing else, you can say, absolutely nothing else has been at the level that they have been at. And sometimes in these tournaments, in tournament play, if you've had those sorts of games where you roll a few teams over and then you get challenged, it's a hard ask to get yourself in a different place.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough ask for them, having been so dominant up until this point. Lithuania, perhaps not had that ease coming out of a tough group, losing a couple of games early, but had to fight for it, which we know they do generally anyway.
7-point lead, 6:45 to go. Lithuania trying to make it to an under-19 World Cup semi-final. Serbia, both former champions, trying to give themselves a chance. Tremendous play again. Just picks up another 2, and he's starting to accumulate some numbers in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean that duo, Pekarski 23, Petrushev now 16. Nobody else in double digits for Serbia.
This stops, pops, way short. And he's made those 2, and everything's got almost shorter by the shot.
Petrushev's got a mismatch at the post down early.
And finally, they get back. Ball reversal. Tribanovic moves it on. They're trying to change the angle. That's a foul, and that's a clear foul as Alauskas, as you pointed out, is now undersized and really outgunned physically in that spot. That'll be the 3rd team foul for Lithuania already. Still 6 minutes to go. Serbia yet to commit a foul in this quarter. Mikovic, he's had a quiet night, but then again, everybody on the perimeter's had a quiet night. Well, the 1-2 punch, another foul. It's an easy foul because you can see, even from where we're sitting, Alauskas with his hand in his back.
Yeah, and that's the key. Like, they're trying to get around in front, but they've got to keep the weak hand off the back. Otherwise, it's an easy foul, especially because that's the hand right in front of the referee as well.
Well,
same play. She's going to have Pekarski roll.
Step back is no good. And they're beginning to try and even out these rebound numbers. That's a nice job on the glass by Venskus, who's a one-man band on the inside at the moment. It's 4 out and 1 in for Lithuania. Trying to create, lift on the weak side. The middle's wide open, they kick again. Ramanauskas in the lane with a tough one off of, well, 1.5 legs, shall we say. Just lost his balance on the release. And they're struggling to get a good shot for a while now, Lithuania.
They'll get Rockybaitis involved in my mind.
Poor, for the first time, a weak shot on the release. Petrusev, that's the way to seal. They're going to wipe it off, but he just held out the whole open side of that keyway and just asked his inside partner to just throw it into the space. Tremendous execution.
Arlauskas had one foul at the start of this spell. He's just picked up 3. So he's now on 4 fouls after Matrikas has gone out. Chambauskas has gone out as well. And Benavicius has gone as well. And
the Serbian way back into the game could be the free throw line. They're shooting over 82% on the game. And they do well from the stripe. Such a simple, straightforward technique for Peskarski. No hitches, everything in straight lines. Completely focused on where he wants the ball to go. And he's 2 for 2. And he's going to get a rest. That's going to be short, you'd have thought.
Well, Ilic has got 4 fouls, so they'll probably bring Ilic out. So just go out there, you know, work hard, be really active, see what you can get away with before you draw your 5th, knowing they've got Pekarski to come back in as well.
Well, Lithuania finally, for the first time, they got a little pressure in the backcourt, but beat it in the end, relatively straightforward. Down to 10 on the possession, though. Whistle on the players. Venskus tried to back in. That'll be the first team foul on Serbia in over 5 minutes of basketball in this quarter. Great discipline by them.
Yeah, when they went to the switch, knew that they were in trouble with the one-on-one, so just committed the foul, sacrificed one.
So they beat the pressure. Vilis trying to look for a drive lane. There isn't one. Needs a pass now. Extra pass. Wide open for 3. Is in and out for Gudaitis. And the barren spell for Lithuania continues from beyond the arc. Lob pass. Easy 2.
Ilic is a better defender on the perimeter at that 4 spot, but he still gives you very good low post presence. Doesn't lose a lot between him and Pekarski. Ilic seals his man the way we've seen Pekarski do it as well, and it's a 1-point game now.
Well, they've been here before. They've tied the game. They've been trailing by 1. They were trailing by 1 at the start of this 4th quarter. The difference being now, they've closed the gap with a lot more time on the clock. So we've got 4:24 to go. Lithuania take the time out. Is this the time he'll go back to his zone? He got a little joy out of it in the 3rd. If he does, if Serbia works it out, the chess match of this game continues. Well, you can't get much closer than that. Both shooting 44%. Lithuania taking 7 more field goals.
Ima zorki prodor do kraja na zid prema vama. Jel jasno? I ovaj igrač rola dole na smaku napad. Ajmo.
So back onto the floor. .24 to go. 1-point game. Lithuania have pretty much led for the whole game, give or take 2-3 minutes. The mentality will change if they go behind. That's the worry, I'm sure, that's going through that Lithuanian bench. Arlauskas turns away, doesn't want to go to the hoop. The help was coming. Just going inside. Fouled. Will go to the free throw line. And again, it's another smart decision in the situation they were faced with. Attack the hoop, get fouled. Venskus to the line.
I like the play. It was really the pick-em sort of short roll for Venskus for that mid-range shot that we've seen him make consistently. Defense in Petrusev recovered well, but Venskus knew he had their momentum against Petrusev to be able to get to the ring.
Still only at 56% from the free throw line compared to the 84%. There's a couple of stats in this game that either team had gotten the other way around, they would be comfortably leading this game. Coach Buchan's expression has not changed throughout the whole game. He is completely immersed in the moment. Second is good. Back out to a 2-point game.
Defense of Lithuania, literally 5 guys in the key.
Well, the 3 is gone and knocked down, and finally Serbia get over the hump and lead by 1.
So 4-3 of the game.
So important for Lithuania to get a good shot this time down. So important. And why not give it to Vaidis? Far side of the ring, and Serbia can't control it. And with 6 seconds, because the ball did not hit the ring, Lithuania have 6 seconds to get a shot. Still, an eternity to go in the game. And he towed the line. Six seconds they need to get a look. Vaidis again goes against the mismatch, stops and pops short. And shots are getting increasingly regularly short for Lithuania.
That's a huge lead from Milic as well.
Yes.
He just snatched it in. I've got to be careful this high-low.
And it's thought about the 3. Benovic, he just made one, tries to turn the corner. Defense was exceptional. 4 on the clock, this has got to go up. Benovic for 3 is no good. Lithuania have a chance again to lead. And the foul, a smart foul by Mikovic, is the 3rd team foul for Serbia. Still have 1 to give. Brigaudas sits down. Lithuanian resources really stretched with the foul trouble. And that'll be the 4th team foul. That means that Ilic will walk.
And that changes things because he is the big that can play outside. Now they have to play Paskarski and Petrusev together, and Lithuania don't have any more bigs to play against them. So that's where the battle will be won. Will it be the inside power of Serbia, or will it be the perimeter spread of Lithuania now drawing these bigs away from the ring?
Well, Lithuania haven't made a perimeter shot for a while. They really have struggled.
It's a cheat one then, doesn't it?
Well, it definitely means, by normal statistic stuff, they're going to make one, and they're not going to stop shooting it, that's for sure. Just beat the pressure. Vaidis goes inside. Zinskas for 2 is good. Super execution, a little soft roll, so he had a little separation between him and the help. Gets the 2.
He's going to go back and forth for these last 2.5 minutes.
Paskarski moves it on. Oh, they're going to call it offensive.
4 on Petrusev, and he does not like it at all.
Let's have a look. Oh, they're looking at the short finish. Well, that's the way it's being called, but the most important thing here is Lithuania leads 72-71 with 2 minutes to go. Vaidis again goes inside, an easy 2. Where was the defense?
It's the threat, the shooters around it, and Rocky Vaidis is just so good. Decision making, so good in that pick and roll.
They're doing it again, Lithuania. Serbia pegged them back. Lithuania go on another short run. Panovic looks inside, gets an inside touch. Double team comes, the extra pass. No one wants to shoot it. Finally, they let one go. And they knock down the 3, and we're tied at 74 with 1:49 to go. Comes down to a last minute and a half game here. Vaidis looks inside. They skip to the corner. Attack the closeout, hand in the lane, and Petrusev read it and gets a hand on it. Serbia, 1:30 to go with the basketball. Trifanovic outside the three. And they're going to still offer him the same. Trifanovic puts it on the floor though, leans in for the layup and blows it. The ball stays with Serbia. They get a 14-second reset.
Good look, didn't he, Trifanovic? You'd have expected him to make it. That's the three from Sordovina. A huge, huge shot.
Lithuania had everybody on the inside, had inside position, just could not control the basketball. Sordovina moves it on. Ivanovic penetrates, little hang time in the lane, poor decision, poor shot.
Great defense.
Absolutely. Lithuania into the half court.
I think again, Markiewicz just use this high screen, come back again the other way.
They didn't really, now they're going to get the right angle on it. Turns the corner, in the lane, wide open for three from the corner. He's good!
Markiewicz with the decision. That's all they did, isn't it? Just cleared it out, gave him the ball. You make the play. He's not the man that shot it, but he should get all the points for that one because everything he did. The question is it a 2 or is it a 3?
Well, on that angle, it's tough to see, but for all the world, it looked a 3.
Giving them 2, but...
Well, they should look at it, surely. Unless they're 100% convinced it's only a 2. In the same way that it looked like the Panovic towed the line on the 3 before. 2 big talking points, but anyway, more importantly, Serbia, will they take a 14 or a 24 look at this?
I would say 14.
Yeah. I would expect a 14, but nothing would surprise me.
Advance it, go with them 14, because you know you're going to get another one there, so you go 2 for 1.
That's got to be the call. Both teams, well, this is Serbia's last time out. Lithuania still had 2. And Lithuania have a 2-point lead. Lithuania don't hold on here. It'll be a heartbreak for them. They've almost won this game on 4 or 5 occasions. Serbia have pegged them back. They're on a great play to go up by 2. Obviously, it's right in front of the bench. They made no issue of the 3, so it must have been an obvious 2 then.
Yeah.
But 76-74, 47.2 seconds remain. A place in the semi-final of the FIBA Under-19 Basketball World Cup in 2019 at stake here in Heraklon. And Trifanovic, well, they went the 24-second route. A high pick and roll, pick and pop action. Trifanovic goes up with a tough runner, and that's going to be an offensive foul on the glass. And I'll ask you, with the inside stuff they have, is that the best option?
Petrevsev is going to foul out on this one. Lithuania brought in their big lineup to guard the inside, thinking, you know, it's definitely going to go against them there. But nothing happened, like you said, Mark. You know, look, Petrevsev has got 16. Lukarski's got 25. Neither of those guys touch it. And Trifanovic, who's the lowest scoring guy on the floor at this moment in time for the Serbian team, takes the shot to win or to tie it.
Well, free throws. We've talked about free throws throughout this whole game. 2 free throws then would have made it a 2-possession game. 1 now will make it a 3-point game and still a single possession. Just with the free throw and drops it. We have a 3-point game. Substitution coming in because Serbia are tight. They have no timeouts. And coach Petrauskas was not going to burn one of his to give Serbia the chance to organize themselves. Lithuania look like they're going to show that soft pressure up the floor. 31 seconds is an eternity. Kovic will get the ball screen, turns the corner, backs out. You've got to go a bit quicker than this, surely.
3, why would you not take it and try and rebound this early in the clock?
Well, they'll take the 3, it's off. They've got the chance to rebound, it's still an eternity. They don't need to rush. They can still get a good one. Trifanovic takes a poor one and drops it. Oh, what do we know? Trifanovic Off balance, leaning back, ties it with 8 seconds on the clock, 77 apiece. As you said, and I agree with you 100%, the guy with the lowest points on the floor, who took the shot before, well, that's confidence personified.
I mean, they had 2, 3 wide open threes they turned down to shoot that. I mean, they couldn't have got a worse three, really. Worse look at the basket. But all that matters is he made the shot. Incredible. And how are Lithuania going to pick themselves up for this? Still 8 seconds. There's loads of time for them, especially with the occupiers on the longest they can get the ball into his hands. That's the most important thing. It comes into him, and he's got all the time in the world to make the play.
And you'd expect him to spread it and try and create a decision for the defense.
Just get him involved in a bit of ball screen. It's so good for them.
So 43% from the three-point line, Lithuania. 10 from 23. 6 from 18. Both teams with 19 assists. It's been a pleasure to watch both teams share the ball. But now this Lithuanian team and their fans have 8 ticks of the clock to get a shot to advance to the semi-final of the Basketball World Cup. Referee's ensuring the space, but I think Trovic is going to be more concerned with who's coming to collect the basketball. Easy inbound. Well, the ball's in the right man's hands, going baseline, needs a pass. This for the semi-final. Oh, they had it. They had a wide open look and took the extra pass. And Lithuania walked to the bench looking really deflated. Why? You understand why, but they're tied up at 77 apiece. Lithuania and Serbia, we said right at the top of the game, this is going to be one of those heavyweight classic encounters. And Lithuania, with all their foul trouble, have got to go another 5 minutes. 77 at the end of regulation. We've still got at least 5 minutes to go.
Incredible fourth quarter. It's the same as the whole game, right? Lithuania look like they've got it. They're comfortable. Serbia somehow make a play or a little run that gets them back into the game. Incredible. They've six threes now, and that's a huge reason why they got themselves back into that game.
Well, you're going to overtime, Lloyd, and you've shot 50%.
Yeah. Well, also 55%.
That's what I meant.
Lithuania 11 for 20. That's 9 points. You only needed one more of those. That's not even a great percentage there. And we wouldn't be in this situation. Lithuania would be dancing on the court, thinking about tomorrow, thinking about a medal. Now they've got to do it all again. And that's the question. Now it's given us a 2.
I'm still struggling with the call. Looked really tight on the three-point line. But there's the shot that tied it. So here we go. If you thought you were getting a drink and a cup of tea or something, put that on a hold, because this one's going to overtime. Ivanovic will inbound the basketball. Mikovic in the backcourt. And Lithuania have to find a way to pick themselves up, because that game they had won at least 5 times.
One thing to keep an eye on, Petrusev, 4 fouls. If he goes, they can't play that combo. It's already out.
Ivanovic, tough finish in the lane. Wow, went up strong, took a lot of contact, gets the soft roll. Pettis will take the ball screen, turns the corner, tried to run the same play they ran at the end of the game. Julius drops it for 3.
He's come in that same spot. It's almost like the guard version of Madrekis. He made 4, he's made 3 now.
And Serbia's lead short-lived again. Šifanić moves it on. Oh, Petrusev was so open. They take the 3. What a rebound. Ivanovic has just come with some energy. Such energy in the fourth quarter. Ivanovic stops, pops the 2, is fouled, and will go to the free throw line. But wow, what can you say about Panovic? Rebounds, gets the tough move to the hoop. So much energy at the start of the first period of overtime.
Free throw shooting the key factor in the difference. And the key factor, Serbia is so good, Lithuania is so poor.
Yep. And he goes 2 for 2, 81-80. If you... number of us would probably have called this about 3 or 4 times that Lithuania had enough of a cushion. Now they trail 1, 3:50 to go. Dragobaitis has it, gets it into the half court. Release, moves it on. Oh, nice move down the middle. Oh, what a block! This just picks it up, blows the putback. They got to the lane, they got to the hoop. The block was phenomenal. And Serbia with a chance. But probably their biggest lead of the game. Panovic, who's been the man of overtime at the moment. Surely he wasn't going to take the 3. He turned that down. Inside option, Petrusev. Double teamed again and turns it over. So many talking points about what could have decided this game, and that double team has been one of them. Dragobaitis hesitates in the lane, drops it inside. What a pass. Foul on the play. Venskus goes to the line. Oh, how did he invent that pass? If it had gone the traditional route, it was a turnover waiting to happen. But the man who went 1 for 2 deep in regulation, back on the free throw line. Just about gets a really friendly roll, ties it at 81 apiece. What he wouldn't have given for that roll in regulation.
Groan from the crowd as it finally dropped as well.
2 for 2, re-establishes the 1-point lead. It's in the last round of a heavyweight boxing match that you don't know who's going to take that knockout blow. Trevanovic moves it on. They just don't see now they're going to go inside. The double team comes, he finds an angle and blows it. It took so long to get it in there.
Didn't quite turn himself properly. Got the finish there.
Dragobaitis, a chance again for Lithuania. Kicks to the corner, wide open for 3, but well short. Not sure he's the best option in terms of the shooter, but who are we to say? Stefanovic, turnover, what a play. What a play by Vilis. Somehow grew about 6 inches to steal that.
Lithuania just pick and roll, middle pick and roll with Dragobaitis to death.
Great pass. Is he going to go up? No, he makes a decision to turn that down. Dragobaitis puts it on the floor, stops, kicks it off. Space for the 3. It's a jump ball, and the ball will go back to Lithuania. We've had it all now. Defense from Serbia on that occasion just scrambled so hard to contest everything. 14-second reset with 2:02 on the clock and a 1-point lead. Substitution, they go small again. Laukas is in the game. Got to be the right call, right? They just offensively with Laukas in the game, they have so many more options.
Yeah.
Beat the inbound relatively easy. Dragobaitis is literally seeing it every time. As you say, pick and roll, he turns it down, looks to go baseline, narrow come back, only 4 on the clock. It's got to go up, just about get it away, and they drop it. I think there was 0.5 of a second left on the clock when he came back to the middle. Patience is an understatement.
Timed it perfectly, didn't they? Knew exactly how long was to go.
Whistle on the play. Ball will go, if it's a held ball, will go back to, or stay with Serbia. There's a lot of tired legs on the floor. And they're going offense and defense as much as they can, Serbia now, Lithuania. As Bergaudas comes in just to give a little bit more size on the glass. Serbia down 3 with the ball. Trevanovic gets to the lane, takes the foul line, jump shot, and it's good.
It's a tough shot. I know he likes those pull-ups, but that's a tough shot. Hand was in his face.
Substitution, they will go offense for defense again. And Serbia have to match it. Well, they don't have to match it, but they've decided they want to go like for like. which is calling itself, because if the game doesn't stop, they lose that huge offensive advantage they'll have. Barbados with the basketball. His team lead 1 with 1:27 to go. At the moment, no high pick and roll, but here it comes. Barbados goes again, second move, creates a little separation, drops the 2. Oh!
On a dime, didn't he? Going to his left as always, but you cut him off, he just stops and makes the shot.
Ivanovic in the lane with a tough one, way short, and Lithuania have it. Well, he made the one at the beginning of overtime, but that one was a really forced shot, and with 50 seconds to go.
Need to hold this, use a full 24 here, Lithuania. Provide us with a chance to basically win it for his team.
Here he goes, 7 left on the possession. Backs it out, he's got the big guy guarding him. Little hesitation, what a move! Blows the layup.
They've given a goaltender.
Need to see it again. They're going to take, they're going to substitution. Here we go.
It's because he hit the backboard.
Goes up, off the glass. Yep. Whatever people think of whether it was or it wasn't, the rule's there for that reason. And what a play by Jagabaidis. The way he created space to get it away. Goes inside. The soft touch is no good. And with 25 seconds to go, they get possession.
They're going to chase it, Serbia.
And they've knocked it, turned it over, foul. And this, in the end, it might not be a bad foul, but I'm not sure how it'll pan out. But it's a 5-point game. They're going to go to the free throw line. The Serbians asking for unsportsmanlike, but it was literally a fumble and a foul. So Ivanovic has to go to the free throw line. Has to make it a 1-possession game by making both. And there's still an eternity in the game. 18.9 seconds to go. Makes the first. Semi-final place on the line. 2 for 2, cool as you like. Substitution.
Needing a 3.
And that's the other question it forces the defense to take. Down the other end, they don't have that option.
I think you've got a foul.
I think, yes, you've got to go steal or foul earlier because you can extend the length of the game and you have an opportunity.
With the way Lithuania have shot it.
Yep. And Serbia have the horses to get in the lane and steal it. Have some real quickness on the floor. Here we go then. Barbados inbounds, gets it back where it needs to be, gets away from it, finds the wide open man. He's using a lot of time here. And then he gets the foul. And he used 6 seconds and did a great job using 6.
Yeah.
They felt the double team from wherever it came and just went and found the open man. And that open man was always active.
Yeah.
But here come the free throws.
Big shots, these huge shots.
You'd probably take Jagabaidis on the line ahead of anyone else because no one's had a great day from the line.
No, and I mean, he's the 19 points tied high with Venskus.
is to ice it. The first one, he almost felt like took the breath, took the shot. He's in the practice facility again. 20 points personal, 5 from 8 from the floor. He's been absolutely phenomenal. 2 for 2. And Serbia will take their timeout and advance the basketball. With 12.8 to go, they need to score, somehow get a stop. Otherwise, they will be playing 5 to 8. And Lithuania will be in the semi-final.
Incredible, isn't it? So, still time.
Oh,
you know, the question is they need a 3. I mean, I know Trifanovic come up with the big one at the end of regulation, but I'm not sure if he's got that magic in him 2 times.
well, can Serbia get up off the floor one more time? Lithuania have had them down in this game on so many occasions, and Serbia have somehow taken the blow, got back up and got right back in it. And you could argue, Lloyd, that in overtime they almost had the chance to build a lead the way that overtime started. But Lithuania found a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Jovitis has been the difference in this game. Guard play, you have to give the edge on the front line to Serbia. Even though, you know, Vetskus has played really, really well. Drinkas fouled out a long time ago. He had 15 points before he went. So those two played well in response, but just the difference at the point guard position for me, Jovitis has just been that class above.
Well, he looks like a guy that's playing in at a phenomenal level regularly. He's in total control of himself and his team. Sideline possession, 5-point game, 12.8 seconds to go. And Novic will inbound. And they go on a flare. They get a really wide open look for 3. It's short. And Lithuania secure it. All they need to do is keep it, and they'll take the foul. And with 6 seconds to go, Lithuania walk the floor. And Novic has made his way to the bench. Vilici's on the free throw line. You can't see it in your shot, but Jovitis has walked the sideline in front of us. Emotion is running high in that guy. He needs to just ice it, put an exclamation mark. And you can tell by those fans what it's going to mean to them. They're making a 7-point game, and the celebrations of becoming a World Cup semi-finalist will go on now in Lithuania. Trifanovic goes up, misses the runner, and Lithuania, 5 minutes later than they wanted to, but are celebrating mid-court. They're going to advance to the semi-final of the FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup. That was a game of basketball, had everything. Had absolutely everything you need. And Lithuania find themselves in a semi-final.
All credit to their performance. I mean, this is the European champions. They've just knocked out, you know, probably the matchup they would have wanted, having defeated them last year, but, you know, an incredibly talented Serbian team undone by an incredible performance for Lithuania. You know, they had the opportunity to blow them out, really, or to blow the game open far better than they did. But once again, 11 for 27 for 3, 41%. And if they just made some free throws, as you said, it would have, without a doubt, been 5 minutes earlier than this.
Well, rebound numbers, Serbia, incredible. It's assists for both teams. Both these teams shared the ball beautifully, 22 and 20 assists. And Lithuania have every right to be ecstatic over that. 18 turnovers for Serbia. You highlighted it before the game that was going to be probably their Achilles heel, and it turned out to be that. Both teams, and in particular Lithuania, had to overcome foul trouble. Players had to step in and take on different roles. Jovitis had 21 and 10 assists. Double-double for Zalgiris guard. There are those game leaders. Gomez had 3 steals as well, led the game in steals. Petrusev had one of those unfortunate double-doubles. He had 10 turnovers in the end, but he had 16 points. Venskus had that lone battle on the inside, but what a performance. So Lithuania are the team that would advance to the quarterfinals. They will play the winner of the next quarterfinal on the floor between the United States of America and Russia. But that's to come. Enjoy these highlights of what was a classic between 2 of the greats of European basketball. But Lithuania get the win. Lithuania advance to the semi-final of the World Cup. We'll be back shortly for the 3rd quarterfinal. We'll see you then. Bye for now.